Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sebastian Canseco. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Oh, wait. Ugh. Camera's not situated fully. Okay, yeah, that's a tad better. Uh, yeah, welcome everybody. It is I, Sebastian Canseco. It is I, Sebastian Canseco. Yeah, if you don't know who I am, you will soon. I'm from Northwestern Lee High School District, for the people that go there. This is an actual legit comedy special from me. It's been such a long time coming, you know. Well, this is comedy specials on YouTube and on Instagram, but it's still something. And here's a little twist: you, the person that's watching this, you are the audience. You get to decide whenever to laugh, cry, or applaud at any part in this comedy special. Yeah, this special is best seen with friends, by the way. And also, a little advisory, it has a few curse words too, and some suggestive references in case y'all are watching this with your family. And if you get in trouble, hey, at least I warned you. Alright? If my teachers or close family watches this, then I apologize for the next 45 minutes. With all that, enjoy the show. With all that, enjoy the show. My first online comedy special, all about me. There is no I in team, but you know there is a me. That lyric was from a Taylor Swift song, literally titled "Me" with an exclamation point at the end. So you know it's a big deal. Literally, I shit you not, even with Brandon Urie of Panic at the Disco as a featured artist. When I heard of this song, I was like, Taylor Swift and Brandon Urie? Like Panic Brandon Urie or just Brandon Urie? Fans know what I'm talking about. The song's catchy, I'll tell you that. Even with Taylor shouting at the top of her lungs, "Me." Oh my, "Me" by Taylor Swift was actually the comeback single of Taylor Swift, like the pop Taylor after her Reputation era. Which, by the way, if you don't know Reputation by Taylor Swift, it was the album that showcased a new Taylor. And not the old Taylor, the new Taylor. The fierce, dark, badass Taylor who absolutely gave zero fucks. Like Beatrix Kiddo with a vengeance. She was about to overtake her haters and put them down on this sick beat. Yo, I remember Look What You Made Me Do and just being so appalled by it. It was like Bad Blood times 1,000. Like, I remember that one lyric where she literally said, "The old Taylor cannot come to the phone right now." Why? Because she's dead. I literally spit out my drink when I first heard that. That came so out of nowhere. It was absolutely hilarious. Like, the old Taylor, if you don't know, the old Taylor Swift was actually her more country-esque self. In which, I remember old Taylor a lot, like, with those sappy-ass love songs. And breakup songs, too. Like, I remember Love Story, the banger that was "You Belong With Me." Why can't you see you belong with me? Oh yeah, prepare for a lot of bad singing during the special too. I should be an American Idol. As bad as convoluted as Taylor Swift's career was, like at least it wasn't like Miley Cyrus's career. Ugh. That's a different topic for another time. But in 2017, Taylor had this rebellious Reputation era. But this new era actually didn't last that long afterwards, and she came back with a more happier era with her next album, Lover, with the single, Me. And for the Reputation album, I actually like that album. Like, I don't know, I think I like artists trying new things. Like, I got into her music from, like, 1989, which is a bop. Like 1989, Reputation, Lover, not bad albums. I like the more popular side of Taylor, not exactly the old country side of her. And the folklore and Evermore side, not my thing, but if you like those two albums, more power to you. Now, I think you're wondering, why the hell did I talk about Taylor Swift for a good 5 minutes? Well, ugh, this actually segues to my first topic, the art of coolness. Actually, let me just tell you this right now. Like, back then, I remember being that kind of, like, having that kind of badass persona, from, like, movies and TV shows that I've watched as a young lad, like I would just like watch like a cool movie in the theater, and then I would just come out of the theater just developing the main character's personality. Yeah, I can't be the only one in this, right? Oh yeah, back then I remember being that good. I remember pretending to be badass. Like I remember as like a 9-year old, I bought this Harry Potter wand, and I thought I was the toughest kid in the whole school, just flinging my wand at the kid nearest me, saying dumb shit like "Get out of the way, kiss." Or when a teacher would just ask, who could lift this chair for me? I would just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to lift this chair. Because I had the wand. Wingardium Leviosa! And then one of my friends would just be like, I don't think you're lifting anything with that, bud. And I'm just like, out of the way, muggle. I'm a Hogwarts graduate. Don't worry, I got this. Wingardium Leviosa. Feeling badass came at a cost, though. Like, mess with the wrong people and bad things happen. Like, I was at school flinging my wand around for a week straight, and I came around a bully, which he was shouting insults at me. But my cocky ass said to the bully, "Do you know what, bully? Expecto Patronum!" And then this bully had enough of the bull. Like, he took my wand out of my hands, and he was just like, "Do you want to know a magic trick? Breakus Wandus!" And then he dead ass broke my wand, and I was just like, no! I got that from Five Below! Like, yeah, it was real tough. As nice as I was back then, I had some beef with my elementary school friends. Like, looking back, this stuff is just funny to look back at now. Like, I actually recall the first day of first grade. Like, I remember coming to the classroom, just blowing out of my mind. I was just like, this classroom's a lot bigger and more colorful. Yeah, I had the nicest teacher, Miss Wise, in which, if the real Miss Wise is watching this right now, then I apologize for the rest of the show. Yeah, first grade went hard back then. Like, the class was easy and fun. And at the end of the day, Miss Wise read us a book. And let me tell you this, books hit harder when they are read to you. Alright? Like I want to read to people for a living, like shit. Like, I actually had a graduation speech planned for my graduation, but the school didn't accept it because I was a tad late to the deadline and, some other things too. But that's in the past. I already just graduated, and my prom was, like, literally 2 days ago as I'm recording this. Oh yeah, I actually, no, that's a different topic. That's in the past. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, first grade. Yeah, went off a bit there. First grade was dope and all, but there were some changes from kindergarten that were implemented in first grade, like no nap time. Like when first grade me first heard there was no nap time, I said, "What the hell?" Like, it caught me by surprise. Like, how was first grade me gonna live without nap time? It was a crazy change, but the thing us first graders had to look out for was the traffic light. Dun, dun, dun. What was the traffic light? Well, it was like this plastic cutout of a traffic light. But here's the deal. Depending on your behavior, if you were just being a little too wild, you would go to the yellow light. If a kid was too bad, that kid would go to the red light, and as a punishment, they had to go to timeout for a solid 10 minutes. Like, looking back, I laugh at this, but in first grade, the traffic light struck anxiety down all of us in first grade. Like, none of us first graders dared to go past yellow. So, throughout the whole year, I tried to do my best to be good, and some of my best friends fell into the red at some point. I remember one of my friends fainted when they ran into the red light, and my friend actually said, like, my friend one time went to the red light, and he literally fainted. He was just like, oh, and then he was just like, to tell my family, I love them. Like, there was this one girl, I'm gonna call her Rachel. Like, Rachel hated my guts back in first grade, and I don't even recall why. But one time, while Mrs. Wise was teaching language arts, we were learning, like, adjectives and shit like that. And so this one girl in my class said, okay, let me give an example. Naive is an adjective for dumb and stupid. Like Sebastian. And I was just like, whoa! Oh, what? I was just like, I was shocked. I never knew that I would have beef with one of my classmates in first grade out of all things. Like, but Miss Wise said, "Nuh-uh, Rachel. You just went into the red light, and you go to timeout." And I was just like, oh. Bro, that moment was so epic. I just for a second, I felt cool. I felt satisfied. You know, I don't get moments like that all the time. You know, it was epic. Like that day, I knew Miss Wise had my back. So yeah, as of the whole year, I never went to the red light. But as of June 2011, about a day before the last day of first grade, everybody but 3 other kids, me, Sarah, and Matt, I'm just going to call the 2 other kids Sarah and Matt, all 3 of us didn't go to the red. About a day before the last day of school, I remember that we had recess. We were just little kids playing in the playground, in which, dude, the playground was my shit, man. Like, I climbed all around that playground. Fun AF. But this day is when things got bad, alright? Before I tell you what happened, let me tell you about a kid named Travis. Okay, like, in first grade, this kid Travis, like, I've heard from other friends that he was, like, really nice and funny, from what I heard, but I don't exactly remember hanging out with the kid. But one thing I do know about him, he was a bit dramatic. Like, kind of like a crybaby-ish. Like, I got nothing, I had nothing against this kid, but this kid cried, like, hard sometimes. Like, when we would play dodgeball, like, if the ball would just hit Travis just a tad too hard, Travis would cry. Like, if he would hit his head on the door, he would bawl. If someone trips Travis and he falls on his face, let the waterworks commence. It was kind of annoying, and I just made sure not to annoy him or just bother him too much when I'm around him. At least not to the point of making him cry. Now, with all that said, let's get back to that day I was talking about. That day, I was playing tag with my friends at the playground. I was running like I was a road runner. I passed and bumped Travis, and I said, oh, sorry, bud, and he didn't cry. But wait! I climbed up the stairs, and I ran through the walkways, and I didn't notice that Travis was climbing up from like, one side of, like, that I was running to. So I accidentally bumped him, and I made him fall out of the playground. No surprise he started crying. I was like, oh no! And I came to the scene, and Travis already had a tear falling down. And then Matt came to Travis and asked him, what happened? And Travis literally looked me in the eyes, because he saw me, like, in the back. And he was just like, and then he, like, literally took a big breath. Sebastian pushed me off and made me fall! And I was just like, oh, well, accidentally. And quit your baby, and you only fell like 4 feet. I said sorry. But Travis went and told the teachers, and even the substitute for Miss Wise, because she wasn't there that day. But within all of that, when we came inside, the substitute for Miss Wise said that what I did was incomprehensible. Yes, the substitute used those fancy teacher words like undistinguished, dumbfounded, miraculous. Yeah, but that substitute actually had the audacity to put me on the red light. Honestly, I think that was maybe the first and only day I actually cried in school. Like Lincoln Park, I tried so hard, and I got so far. But in the end, it didn't even matter. And as I was disappointed, there I see Travis being happy, dancing, actually doing a dance. He was doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and I was just like, Travis, I'm gonna bust your head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Alright, yeah, well that sucked, but First grade to fifth grade was awesome. Like, I still pretended like I was cool with my peers and my friends, even when I looked anything but. Like, there were actually some cool people that I've met in my life that is, like, a real kind of cool. But let me tell you this, there's two different types of cools. There's a fake cool and there's a real cool. Real cool people are people that are just really cool without even saying it. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold just has that cool factor. Patrick Swayze. He just has that cool factor. But fake cool, you know, those cool people that aren't really cool, they're just plain annoying or even cocky about their coolness. There's the fake cool people that are like the types of people that go out of their way to absolutely blind you with how cool they think they are. Like people with endless Gucci chains or endless Supreme merch. Or it's like, oh hey, let me put my Supreme nuts all over your face. Like, fake cool is just cringe, okay? But not all types of fake cool are cringe, okay? There are some fakers that think they're so cool that it is absolutely downright hilarious. Case in point, my cousin. I don't recall his name, but I'm going to call him the gangsta cousin, Maverick. When I went to Florida for a vacation back in 2015, I met some family members that I actually haven't met before. I met my mom's mom, her uncles and aunts. I met my cousins and nieces. But this one cousin I remember meeting was Maverick. Maverick was like a year younger than me at the time, and he was like a hardcore fake cool. But this kid, Maverick, he was a riot too. Like when I first met Maverick, he came up and just started talking that fake gangsta talk. Like he was just like, "What's up, cuz?" Or "How's it pop, drop it, lock it?" And I was like, "You did not just say that in 2015 to pop, drop it, and lock it." Like, and I was just like, I want to punch you. Honestly, like I want to give Maverick like the biggest noogie of his freaking life. But punching people. I'll tell you this: punching people and fighting people are not the answer. Like, but I could sort of punch, sort of. Let me demonstrate. Um, ow, my hand. Yeah. Sort of. Yes, Maverick thought he was a hardcore gangsta with his dollar store chains, his Bart Simpson shirt, and his hat put on backwards. Whoa, Ice Cube! Watch out! There's a real gangsta among us. Yo, this kid was mad funny. Like, he listened to 50 Cent and Eminem nonstop. Like, he even quoted the lyrics from certain songs. Like, he listened to that 2000s rap, too. In which, I remember we were about to go somewhere, and then Maverick was like, dressed up, and he was just like, "I know you like my stuff. I know you like my stuff." And then also, one time, he actually tried to dab me up. But he didn't even do it right. He just dabbed me up like, he was, and I was just like, what the hell is that? What is this, Maverick? Like, one time we were actually eating pizza, and Maverick took the last slice of pizza, and when someone said, "Who took the last slice?" Maverick just popped up and just started singing a 50 Cent song. "Many men wish death upon me," and I was just like, "Wish death upon a pizza? What the hell?" Yo, it was cringy, but it was funny. Okay, this kid was a nuisance too, like a menace to society. Like one day we went to Kohl's where Maverick was like playing with those big candy bags, like the big bag of Skittles or Reese's peanut butter cups unwrapped. And he took a bag of Skittles and he told me to look at this trick that he saw on YouTube. And I don't even think this trick even exists anymore. I think this was just like something he saw like on YouTube. So the trick was that with any type of food that has like a zipper, you have to like pierce certain areas of the bag and put the air all the way down and then just gently pop the bag and the zipper would just unopen just like that. And I thought it was bullshit, but Maverick actually decided to do it, and he literally opened the Skittles bag just to get access to the zipper, and I was just like, why don't you just steal it at this point? And so Maverick did the trick. But he forgot one specific part. He forgot to gently pop the bag. And so he literally slammed the bag and popped it open. Skittles were flying in the air. It was raining Skittles. It sounded like a gunshot. And someone in the store was like, what the hell was that? And then Maverick was just like, he looked at me and said, run. So yeah, this kid is no easy E. Like, we went to the dollar store one time, and there was this slogan that actually said, our prices are a steal. And I kid you not, this kid actually stole something from the Dollar Tree. A candy bar. I told him, just because the slogan said it doesn't literally mean that you have to steal it. And then his kid was just like, oh, my bad. But seriously, he was coming after me for a candy bar, and I was just like, Maverick, what the hell? What, are you gonna go to jail over a candy bar? And he was just like, it's just a candy bar. I don't give a fuck. It's my business. And I was just like, this kid is quoting Ludacris. God help us all. Oh my goodness. And I actually remember, we went to karaoke one time, and I like expected like Maverick to just sing like some 50 Cent song or sing some Eminem song and just make a fool out of himself. But no, the song he actually chose, one of the songs that he actually chose was Dilemma by Nelly. In which, if you do not know that song, I'm hoping that you know the melody. Do 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 do. And I hear Maverick just singing, no matter what I do, all I think about is you. When I'm with my boo. And I was just like, that's not really gangsta, Maverick. That's... I mean, if you were to say... I'm done. This kid is too much. Like this kid wasn't even like a real gangster. He was just pretending to be badass because he saw it like on movies and TV. It's all in the art of coolness. Like, Maverick was only faking being a gangster like all this time. Like, I don't even think Maverick even has this persona anymore. I haven't seen this kid for 5 whole years. But man, that was a really funny 2 weeks. That was epic. So yeah, being cool has... So yeah, being cool has its ups and downs in general. In general. Another thing that as a little kid I actually thought looked cool was smoking. Before you say a thing, I'm not saying I forgo smoking. I actually have never smoked in my entire life. But as a kid, I thought that seeing someone smoke, like in like a film or a TV show, like if it's like filmed in a specific way or just shot in a specific way, it would look kind of cool actually. Like, it looked so calm, like badass, but in a calm way. Like, when I saw Scarface at like 10 years old, like I didn't understand the movie, but I was seeing Al Pacino just like being like this big, being like this whole mafia guy, like, and seeing him in one specific scene just smoke a cigar and just say, I work hard for this, I want you to know that. I was just like, badass. Like, many movies back then actually had an ass ton of smoking. Even the Muppet movie back in 1975 had a cigar in it. Like, but yeah, times have changed, and it's come to terms that smoking cigarettes is a pretty disgusting habit. Personally, I do not even care for it. But back then there was like PSAs or public service announcements that would tell kids not to do drugs. And it's like some of them back then, they were kind of corny, but some of them were actually pretty creative. I like the way they like showcased that whole theme of like no smoking. Like I remember that one commercial where this dad comes to this kid's room and just said, well, I found these cigarettes. What made you do them? And then this kid, after like 30 seconds, he was just like, because you made me do it. I mean, because you did it. Something like that. And I was just like, that's so... I mean, that's so interesting. And I remember that one ad back then in which this girl was like demonstrating, this is your brain on drugs, and like she like did it on a whole nother level in which she like literally broke her entire apartment. Like, she broke like the dishes, and she was like, this is what your family goes through. This is what your pet goes through. This is what your mama goes through. And then she like destroyed her whole apartment just to tell us that smoking is bad. And I was just like, thought-provoking. And at least back then I thought so. But every generation has different kinds of things. Like phones back then, like they were like super big back then, but now they've been upgraded for the newest generation. Like I have my phone right here, you know. Like yeah, like every generation there's like a big upgrade in something. But like drug PSAs from back then, even though they have existed for like several years, even like back in the 2000s, they have come back in full force in the form of the real cost. Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about the real cost. The real cost is a company that puts out drug PSAs that tells this generation not to do drugs, and which is good. Okay, like, it's good to teach it's good to teach people these things, kids and adolescents. But it's also here's the idea and here's the execution. All right, listen, I don't dislike the real cost, but honestly, I think they could be a little bit better in some of their ads, okay? Even in their subtleties, all right? Like, like sometimes the real cost could be as subtle as a book to the head. Like, for real shit. These ads could actually be downright disturbing sometimes, driving home the point. But there are some real cost ads that literally do not try hard enough. Like, I remember this one commercial. This is not an example, but I remember this one commercial where this dude was about to get cigarettes, and like gives out a $5 bill to the cashier, but then the cashier was just like, "That's not all." And so the dude takes pliers out of his pocket and literally pulls out 2 teeth. In graphic detail, he was like, and I was just like, subtle. But then there's also this commercial where this girl at school takes a pack of cigarettes, and then there's like this dwarf that like pops up on her shoulder, acting like the devil on her shoulder, making her make bad decisions. And it was so over the top though. Like when I saw this dwarf, I was just like, who's this dude? Some reject from the Seven Dwarfs? What's his name? Blazy? But there's like this recent commercial, which I swear to you, if you click on any YouTube video, there's an 80% chance that you have seen this one. The commercial where this dude says the absolute following. If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs. To show how scary that is, we made a metal monster. And then he just starts running. And then he does the Wilhelm scream. And with special effects that show metal particles being inhaled. In music that will make your heart race. Nothing is as scary as the facts. Vaping can deliver toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs. Okay, listen, I understand the whole point of the commercial, but this commercial is like everywhere that I go. Like, whenever I watch TV, even like when I watch TV, I see this commercial. And I'm just like, I get it. Okay, drug addiction is serious, but man, they need to advertise it better. Alright, like the PSAs back then at least had creativity to them. Like, if you look up 90s PSAs, like I swear to you, you'll find one that you like, and you'll probably also have nightmares because some of them are pretty freaky. But really, a commercial where a dude makes a CGI metal monster and having it all be like this fake thing just to drive home that the real facts. Like the commercial is pretty much telling you that, yeah, we could have put effort into this. We could have made something really subtle with this, but let's make it fake so it'd be subtle, like a baseball. I mean, like a book to the head. And yet these commercials have quadrupled since like last year. There's even a series of shorts called "My Vaping Mistake." And again, this is about the way it is advertised. Like a title like "My Vaping Mistake." What are you trying to do? Vape from your ass? Yeah, and yes, there are people that actually have tried that. And I'm just like, oh my god. Talk about an out-of-body experience. And it's sad, too, seeing actual teens who vape, and it just got cost. And the real cost comes to them and said, your punishment is that you had to be in drug advertisements. And the teens are just like, no, not the advertisements! My life is over! In general, what I'm saying is drug PSAs need to be more like realistic and stop, not really be like they gotta be like more clever and stop being like all over the place. Like I looked up a video on like how to write a speech like literally 2 weeks ago, and I literally got an ad with that one dude saying vaping can deliver toxic metal, and I'm like, can I skip this ad? Can I skip this ad? And then I think you guys are just saying, oh, you're just overreacting, dude. Like, seriously, it's not that big of a deal. But there's this game I played last year on my Xbox called One Leaves. If you don't know, One Leaves is this suspenseful horror game in which 4 teens are trapped in a hospital, all in different rooms, and only one of us can make it out of the door. At the end of the game, I actually lost. But that is when the game had this twist ending in which that it was all a real cost commercial. That the hospital that I was trapped in was actually resembled the inside of a body. Seriously, that is the way the game ended. Listen, it's clever and all, but the audacity to make me play through a real cost and but all jokes aside, drug addiction is serious and it should be taken more seriously. That is what I am saying about this. All right, just be more clever. All right. If you excuse me, here's a little intermission. I'm about to go get a glass of water. Alright, let me just do some setup stuff here. Alright. Alright, is the light on? Okay. Alrighty. Here I have returned. Alright. Where was I? Alright. Okay, within me thinking about how cool smoking was versus... Wait, hold on. I've lost my train of thought for a second. Okay. Within me thinking how cool smoking looked versus the reality of it, another thing that I wanted to do as a plan to be cool was to impress crushes that I actually had at the time. Like, and back in elementary school, I've had crushes on many girls, but this is before I actually knew what a crush really is. Like, there's a difference between a crush and falling in love with someone. All right, like a crush is just it's just thinking that someone is attractive, but then falling in love is when you have a strong personal bond with someone, and that is what truly matters in a relationship. But you didn't come to me for relationship advice. You just came to see a comedy show. All right. So yeah, I in truth, I only fell in love with about like maybe 3 people in general. Like, yeah, we all had a crush at some point in our lives, and we all have experienced heartbreak in some way or another. Like, I actually recall back in like 4th grade, a girl actually asked me out in 4th grade, and I was just like, oh, I got a date now. I guess I wait till the guys hear about this. They're gonna be so jealous. And then about 3 hours later, one of the girl's friends came to me and said, this girl called off the date, and I was just like, no. She called off the date? I kid you not, I think I developed trust issues that day. But enough about me, and let me tell you about this one kid. I forgot his name, but I'm going to call him Jack. Alright, I remember when this kid named Jack actually went out of his way to, like, confess his love for someone. And confess his love for his crush, like, in a talent show. And, oh my god, talent shows. Talent shows are absolutely hilarious. They are amazing. There is nothing funnier than if one of your friends just absolutely hypes up a talent show, and then they come up on stage, and then they just become super nervous. They have, like, stage fright, and they just start, like, singing. Like, if they sing a song, they would just be like, do you ever Feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again. You know, and it was just, or if one kid just tries to do a trick and the trick literally like gets into the trick literally doesn't work. Like I remember this one kid, he like put like a bunch of bottles and stuff like that, and he tried to do like the table trick in which you like pull the cloth out and then nothing would move on the table. You know what I'm talking about. In which this kid actually tried it, and the bottles just like literally just flew off. And I was just like, it was a good effort. It was a good effort. It was a good effort. I sound like an asshole. Okay, but this kid Jack, like he like practiced these dance moves in which I think he was making the audience get served. But at the end of it, Jack said, "Alicia, will you be my girl?" And then when I saw this, I admired the effort. But Jack did not get the girl. Bummer. In general, I actually have never had. Actually, you know, I've seen like dudes just like try to like win over girls, like even like bring like guitars to school. Like I remember this one dude that just started singing "When the Day Met the Night," like in which, by the way, if you don't know that classic song by Panic at the Disco, feel. I hope you enjoy my singing. When the moon fell in love with the sun, dun dun dun, all was golden in the sky. All was golden when the day met the night. When the moon found the sun, she was drinking tea in her garden. And I forgot the lyrics. And she blossomed in his life in the middle of summer. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. In the middle of summer, all was golden in the sky. All was golden when the day met the night. Summer. I recommend you hear that song by Panic at the Disco. When the Day Met the Night. Oh my god. Literal bop. Anyway. Actually, I remember when I was like, I actually had never had a girlfriend before, like, ever. But I remember when I actually tried it, when we went to, like, the school dance. It was, like, this middle school dance. It was, like, a year before I came into Northwestern. And I tried to, like, ask this group, which I was, like, dancing all over the place. Believe me, I love to dance, alright? But in this school, DJ was, like, playing clean versions of songs. But as of, like, 2015, man, I was jamming all over the place. Like just dancing to, just dancing to, like, any song, you know? Like, prepare for more bad singing. Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard. I'm feeling so fly like a G6. Like a G6, like a G6. And I'm gonna sing some more songs to demonstrate what they play at the dance. I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this, cause my body too bootylicious for you, babe. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. Last Friday night, we were dancing tabletops. Shots. Think we kissed, but I forgot last Friday night. Walking on a dream. Dun, 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 dun. Hopping lights blind. Dun, 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 dun. The Empire of the Sun, absolute bop, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I was dancing the night away at this dance, and so I try to ask this one girl to dance with me, and in which when I came to her and I was just like, "May I have this dance?" And then this girl was just like, who are you?" And I was just like, "Oh no!" And actually, to make matters worse, the person that she was actually going to dance with came up right behind her. And then he was just like, "Is this dude bothering you?" And I was just like, Who the fuck is you? Yeah, I was turned down that day. You know, I was just trying to. I was dancing and just having a good time, but it just didn't work. I actually never had a girlfriend before, like ever. I think I've said that before. Yeah, but at some point, like like a year, so in like sixth grade, we like I was in the single guys club. All the single guys, all the single guys. Yeah, me and like my two other friends were like, yeah, like, we were like just the guys that like never had like never had like a relationship with anyone ever, and so we actually like made fun of like people that were just like a couple. Like one of my friends one time actually said like, "Oh, look at Johnny and Sophia. They're just such a nice couple, cute couple." And then another one of my friends literally said, "Yeah, a couple bitches." And I was just like, "Oh my god, you guys." But you know, I'm asking out your crush, man. Like, I would say go for it, but me, I don't know. Like, I think I'll probably date someone at some point, but yeah, you know, that was just like that whole procedure of me just trying to ask someone out. Yeah. So yeah. Crap, I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, so yeah, the pandemic was a thing. It was yeah, that was pretty tough, man. Pretty tough. Like especially being like a senior, like senior year in like in like the middle of a pandemic. Like I mean, that was I don't know. Like everybody was just like quiet, man. Like just wanted this whole thing just to just get over with, man. Like me too. Like the last 2 years literally did not feel like school years. Like if they felt like school years, I think the idea of me like graduating would have been a much bigger deal. I think some of you guys must relate with that. But yeah, it's whatever. Like the better times are coming. Like there's like the vaccines are coming. Like and then they work. Like vaccines work. Like I'm 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 honestly like really excited to just have like a more interesting have a more interesting future ahead of these really boring 2 years. And so I created this whole comedy special, which I really like this. I like this. I think I'm gonna do. I think I might actually do another one, or I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Shout out to like I'm hoping HBO or Netflix calls me up for my own comedy special. I try, you know. I try. Oh, well, okay. I wanna talk about one more thing before I go. Oh yeah. Oh. Hmm. I've always liked the idea of wanting to have a pet. All right, like pets. I think pets are cool. Like it's like your personal companion. I mean, what am I saying? Oh yeah, it's like your companion. Like it's like your partner in crime. Maybe not literal crime, like Maverick, but yeah. But I've always like I remember the film Turner and Hooch, in which it was like Tom Hanks and he had like this freaking dog that like was with him like on police missions, and I thought it was dope. Like the whole dynamic. Like honestly, I think it's a better dynamic than most couples in romantic films ever. Man, like it's like it was like a PG lethal weapon. Like like it was still a better dynamic than Twilight. Oh, but Robert Pattinson, he's working on better stuff now, so I'm hoping he gets out of that Twilight Zone. I'm hoping, yeah, yep. I'm hoping he gets out of that Twilight Zone. Yep, that's what I'm gonna say from now on. I hope he gets out. I hope Robert Pattinson, the actor of Twilight, gets out of his own Twilight Zone. And same with Kristen Stewart. She's been through too much now. But yeah, back to the pets. Yeah, I've always liked having a pets. Like, I've always liked the idea of like wanting to have a pet. like I remember like Secret Life of Pets, which by the way, that movie is like literally it's literally a rehash of Toy Story 1 and 2. But Secret Life of Pets, like are their lives really that secret? Let's be honest. Yeah, but I've always kind of like maybe like I've always kind of wanted like a parrot, like a like right to my shoulder, like that would just say the stuff that I wouldn't be able to say. Like I would just like if someone just like pisses me off, like instead of me saying "f you," the parrot would just be like "squawk, fuck you, squawk, fuck you, squawk," and I would just yeah. So yeah, like yeah. But speaking of pets, man, like there are some pets that are like really nice and cute. Like I love puppies. And it's funny me saying that now because Cruella is actually out right now, and that's like a she you know that Cruella de Vil of 101 Dalmatians is not a fan of dogs, or in this case Dalmatians. Where am I? I'm going so off topic here. Oh yes, yeah. There's some pets that are like really nice and cute, and there are some pets that are like really are kind of ferocious. Like there's some pets that are just like that are literally like trained to just be like very furious. They're just like, "Grr." The case in point, my aunt's Chihuahua. That like, okay, I went to my grandma's one time, and it was like a family thing. It was like Thanksgiving, and in which my aunt actually had this Chihuahua that was, I mean, like she had like this pink coat on. It looked really cute, but the Chihuahua wasn't anything but. Like the Chihuahua was like really ferocious. She was, and she probably had like a vendetta with me. Like she had a death wish with me. Like anytime I was around, she would just be like, "Grr." And I was just like, what the hell did I do? I didn't do nothing to you. Like even when I would take even if I would like take like a step, just to take any step, she would just she would just be like, "Grr." And I would just be like, oh, grr. Huh? Grr. 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 Yo, that Chihuahua was crazy as hell though. But then, like I remember, and I also remember this, and also like later that Thanksgiving, like she actually like when I tried to like pet her, she actually like scratched me. She was just like it was like a light scratch, but to me, to 10-year-old me, man, that felt like a big deal. I was just like she was just like, and I was like, oh, you 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 Chihuahua. I hate you, Chihuahua. uh, but but yeah. But then at some point, like I wanted to go upstairs in my grandma's house, but the Chihuahua was right there, and she saw me, and the Chihuahua was ready. She looked like she was ready to pounce. She was just like, "Arr." And I was just like, "What are you, race?" I mean, probably not racist, but man, she had some beef with me. So I was just like, okay, what should I do? Should I just walk slowly upstairs so she wouldn't just pounce, or should I just make a run for it? And so my 10-year-old self decided to go for the even dumber choice, to run for it. And so I decided to run through the living room upstairs, and this Chihuahua, she just jumped out, and she was running. She was just like, grrr. And I was just like, oh, hell no! I gotta run! And then it was like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, like running after that bear. And so so when I was when I went to the base of the stairs, the Chihuahua jumped and she scratched my leg, and she was like, shh. And I was like, ah. so 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 yeah, that was very painful. That was pretty painful, but it was a fun Thanksgiving though. The turkey was good. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, overall, so yeah, I think this concludes the whole comedy special experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole thing. Believe me, I'll tell you this: if you are like like if you are ever down, you just gotta keep whenever you like fall. Let me just think of like a metaphor here. Let me think of like an inspirational quote here. Um, when you fall down a mountain, the best the only thing to make it better is to climb up a mountain. No, I can't do inspirational quotes. Let me think of another inspirational quote. Oh yeah, okay. Here's one. Okay, if you feel like Robert Pattinson that acted in Twilight, believe me, it might take a little while, but you will get out of the Twilight Zone. You know what? So yeah, and honestly, with all this stuff I just said here, like I hope you guys had a good laugh with my topics here, and remember like the art of coolness. Like honestly, being cool depends. It really depends on being yourself. Okay, I know it sounds like a cat poster, but it's true. All right, being cool, the art of coolness, is how cool you believe yourself to be on the inside, or something like that. All right, you know what? So long, guys, and good night. Woo! Woo! See you later.